I'm so excited to share a new product with y'all. This is the Metadyne Pro Stretch and Pro Stretch Plus calf and foot stretcher. Now these are great because it can help stretch the plantar fascia, the calf, the Achilles tendon, and the hamstring muscles, all by using your body weight and leverage. Now these have a rocker bottom to maximize the stretch so that you can go further than the level of the floor. And this company has been around for over 30 years. They are very reliable, and bonus, these are made in the USA. So this is ideal for people experiencing Achilles tendonitis or plantar fasciitis or ankle stiffness or forefoot pain or bunions or heel pain and heel spurs. They're great for shin splints, calf muscle strains, ankle sprains, ankle strains. Honestly, anyone who has tight muscles in their lower legs and anyone who's on their feet a lot during their day or is just a big walker or exerciser. I had plantar fasciitis personally, badly. If you've had it, you know how bad it hurts. This was a saving grace for me, but it does help with so many different conditions. All right, so I'm here to talk to you about both the products. Even though they look pretty similar, they are a little bit different. So this is the Pro Stretch. This is the basic model. And on the bottom, you'll see that it has non-slip resistant pads, which is great. It's not going anywhere, which you don't want it to if you're on your tiptoes on it. So, and it's very durable, super lightweight, so you could throw it in your bag if you travel. This one goes up to a shoe size of 12 and goes up to holding 250 pounds. And it does include a stretching guide. There's like a QR code, but if you hang tight to the end of this video, I'm gonna take you through how to use them both. Now, the Pro Stretch Plus is a little bit different. It is a little bit more durable because it holds up to 300 pounds. It also is a little bigger, so it goes up to a shoe size fitting of 14. But the main difference is the toe lift and the heel lift. The toe lift is removable and you can adjust it. And this is good for stretching the plantar fascia because yes, we do want to stretch the heel and the arch for plantar fascia, but we want to stretch the top of the toes so that we really get into that plantar fascia. So the removable toe rest is great for stretching of the toes for like bunions and forefoot pain and plantar fasciitis. And the heel rest also comes off very easily and it's adjustable. So you can put it anywhere you want to. And that way you can increase or decrease the degree of the stretch, which is great when you're coming out of an injury because you may not want a big stretch at the beginning. You want a small one, and then you can keep adjusting this to give yourself a bigger and bigger stretch. So if this was my first time using it, I would do it in a seated position. Because it's not as intense of a stretch because I'm not having my entire body weight on it. So I'm using the original Pro Stretch, and I know it's a stretcher, but I would recommend rocking it back and forth and almost use it like an exercise. So now I'm getting this beautiful ankle movement, and because of the rocker bottom, I'm able to go to greater lengths than if I was just doing toe taps on the floor. So I would use this with all my patients that have ankle stiffness or ankle pain. Now, to stretch it, I'd want to hold the heel down, but I'm not getting a huge stretch because I'm not using my body weight. I'm going to show you that in a standing position. However, to stretch the front of the lower leg, where your shins are, it is good to do in a seated position. So what you do is you just point your toe down. I'm gonna bring it back a little. And immediately I feel an amazing stretch. Great for skiers, great for walkers, great for people who are just starting an exercise program. All right, let me show you in a standing position all it can do. All right, I'm in a standing position, and for safety, I'm gonna have a chair or a wall beside me. But I'm just gonna put my heel and my toe exactly where it was in the seated position, and to stretch the back of the calf muscle, and this is that gastrocnemius, this big muscle up top that inserts into the back of the knee. I'm gonna stand up. Oh, I feel it right away. It feels amazing. To do that, I need to come up on my tiptoe on the other foot. And that's why a chair near you is handy. And so when I'm stretching, I'm not bouncing, not a lot of movement, and just relaxing. And it's a very, very good stretch. I recommend all of these stretches at least 30 seconds to a minute, depending on what your goal is. Now, if I want to stretch lower down into the heel, like the Achilles tendon area and the soleus muscle, I do the same thing as I did before, but the difference now, y'all, is I bend the knee. So now I'm getting way lower, and this feels great. Right through the heel, right through the Achilles tendon. And again, I would hold this stretch 30 seconds to a minute. And then to stretch the hamstrings, I'm gonna get into a similar position, putting my heel and toe in there. I'm still gonna have a chair nearby, but now what I'm gonna do is bring the other foot behind me. With the pro stretch in front, I'm gonna rock it back, and then I'm gonna hinge at the hip. Now, hamstring tightness is something I battle with, and right away, I feel the stretch. And so what I would do is I would do 5 deep breaths, and with each breath, you can go a little bit lower and a little bit lower, but you don't want to stretch to the point of pain, but immediately I can feel the stretch all the way up, especially behind my knee and all the way up to my hip. We also want to make sure that we keep our back straight, and again, no bouncing. And we can relax. Now, if you want to add a little bit of movement, in other words, if we want to start to target the hamstrings that are a little bit on the inner and outer side, you could get into this hamstring stretch, and then you could rotate your hips. Sometimes I like to just open my arms, and now I feel it in a little bit different area on the outside. And you could do the same thing and kind of turn your hips inward. I still like to use my hand and thread it through, and now I feel the hamstrings that are on a little bit of the medial side, the inner side. Now let me just show you 2 things with the Pro Stretch Plus. So with the plantar fasciitis, we talked about we want to get a little bit more stretch at the front. So I'm going to remove this toe lift, and I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And this needs to be, you put your toe in first, and I'm still going to stand on it, but immediately I can feel that it's much more intense than the Pro Stretch, because I'm getting that extra toe stretch, the extra stretch in the front of my foot. And like I said, you can adjust this so that it's a little bit, and you can keep going further and further down to get a deeper stretch the more you use it. And we can also use this one for stretching the shins. And to do that, what I would do is I would remove the toe plate. You can take it out, it's very easy. And I would turn it around so that the heel rest is in front. And then I can put my foot in here. And what I'm gonna do now is lean forward. It makes me really tall, right? But if we lean forward and point the toe, we can get the front of the shins. And personally, I think that sitting down one, kind of like you're pumping the gas, is a better stretch than standing for the shin splints. It's much more comfortable to my patients that way. All right, y'all, what'd you think? As a physical therapist, I would highly recommend this to any of my patients who are experiencing any type of lower leg muscle stiffness, pain, or weakness. As a regular exerciser and a regular walker myself, I for sure do these. It's such a great way to get a deeper stretch and simply easy to use. There's nothing to put together. Now, if this is something that you would love to add to your workout routine, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about it. If not, like I said, it comes with a nice exercise guide that I personally went through and reviewed, and it is all spot on. Now, it's super easy to order. You're gonna go to the description in my video and there's a link. Make sure you click that, but I wanna give y'all 10% off. So under the link, you're gonna see a code. It's called GenFit. Highlight that, go to the link, put it in. Again, you can order either one, right? This is the Pro Stretch, the original. This is the Pro Stretch Plus, all right? Hope you enjoy it and happy exercising.